All right, it's another day. We are hoping to get, got some crazy hair going on. Jeez, need a haircut. Hoping to get the seat installed, this bad boy, with these brackets and this seat buckle, GT2 seat buckle, and not a GT2 today. So let's finally wrap this thing up. Let's go ahead and check out what I had to do to prep. All right, this guy is going in here. But first, had to disconnect the battery. I disconnected both sides just in case. Probably didn't have to do that because otherwise, they say that you may have issues with the airbag going off and the airbag light definitely coming on, which we don't care about because we're not putting the seat back in anyways. But there are 4 bolts that we will, oh, I guess it doesn't really help. Now that we have the power off, got to make sure that I have access to the bolts to be able to get them off. So we'll go ahead and see what we can find out here. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so at the front of these, you're going to want to get under here. These are on the front, covering the front reverse Torx nuts or bolts. You're going to pop these up, and these will just pull out with the tabs popped up first. All right, so I got the front 2 weird freaking reverse Torx bolts out. So the back, they don't tell you on the videos, yeah, make sure you move your seat forward all the way because you definitely can't see very well in the first place, but you can't even access those back there. It's not like, oh, I don't know. People just make things look way too easy online. This is a pain in the butt to do, especially if you're working with like normal tool sets. All right, so I connected the battery again so I can move the seat forward. Got the seat moved forward, and those came out, let's see, came out way easy. Boom, and boom. So we've got all 4 bolts removed. If you're curious, they look like this. A 10 mil socket will likely work as well. And so now I've disconnected the battery again, and I'm going to wait 30 minutes just to be safe. Let all the charge run out, I guess, whatever they said to be safe. All right, it's been 30 minutes. Moment of truth. We're gonna try to unplug the yellow connector now underneath the seat. All right, so to disconnect this yellow unit, you gotta pop this black thing outward. So just pop this tab out away from the yellow box there, and it'll allow for the unit to unplug. And now we're going to take off the 4 screws here and disconnect the seat to reuse the stock brackets. All right, so I just want to be clear, when people make YouTube videos of how to do stuff, it drives me nuts when they show this super clean, simple video about how to do this in 10 minutes, right? And they don't actually tell you what parts of the install or the swap out is difficult. Like, I'm not a shop guy. I don't own a shop. I have a garage. I work on my car for fun, and I try to do some stuff on my own if I can. And then I get on YouTube or I read up on forums and I go ahead and start checking into how hard or difficult something looks like to determine if I want to do it or if I need to take it to a shop. So this today is an example of, this is like not as easy as they make it look on the channels and on the forums. You don't just remove the seat with the 4 bolts, take out the connection, the 1 connection point, and then swap the seat out. All right, so for instance, to get the bracket mounts off, you've got to remove the side panel tray, which has another screw involved with that one. Then to get this bolt out, this whole bracket panel is attached on both sides of this. And these are going to be disconnected, jammed up with the existing bolt. And then I've still got this tray here that needs to be removed, which I have no idea what the purpose of that even is. So yeah, it's all this random stuff. All right, guys, we're back. I have finally got the proper seat bracket base mount for the Sparco seat, and we're gonna go ahead and try to install this. We tried this probably about a month ago and waited for the parts. Put the seat back in. I've loosened the four base mount bolts, and I'm gonna unplug the airbag. Battery's been off for overnight, so no issue there. And we'll go ahead and try to get this thing set up. All right, so put the base mount in. And now we will try and make sure that we size this thing up and sit it in properly for me, the proper height. All right, so we got the brackets mounted up. We test fitted them and floated them in the seat. Make sure that everything lines up right. Put the GT2 997 seatbelt hookup in because it's a longer neck, which you'll need if you're doing race seats to reach up to where the seatbelt goes. Now I'm gonna do some blue Loctite on just the seat mount bolts, and then I'm gonna torque down the base mounts.
Visiting Porsche and where we were there, and he kept walking into the room where I spent a lot of my time back then, and he kept saying, you should be coming and working for me, you should be coming and working for me. And at that time, I just basically said, well, when do you want to partner and work and come and see?
All right, so the seat is gonna have a sensor that you need to plug back into the base harness. That's right here, and it fits in loosely, so use some electrical tape to keep it intact, and then you put the seat back down. Got the seat in officially. I have the seat belt on backwards, the seat belt mount, so I gotta take the seat back out and put that seat belt on the other way so that it flips up instead of into my stomach like it is now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but man, it feels great. I don't feel like my feet are too close or too far. I think the seating arrangement's super good, and pretty satisfied so far. So we'll take a couple more shots. I got a lot of room between the door and the seat, and sitting back here, I keep my seat pretty far forward, so obviously that's a personal preference. But waiting for the battery to reset for PASM, or not PASM, for the sport mode and PASM. So just driving it for a minute so we can do that. Airbag light on, so I gotta zone that out or fade that out. But other than that, pretty good. All right, I'll show you guys what I did wrong. The seatbelt buckle has a bend in it, so it looks like naturally it goes in this way, but that's not the case. You need to rotate it, flip it so that it sticks up and congruent with the seat wall, not into the seat. All right, so now I switched it. You can see how it goes with the contour of the seat. Much better. Put her back in now and we'll be done. So I don't know if you can see very well, but this is the seat arrangement I have. So I did a full base mount for the Sparco setup because the motor base mount does not work with this setup. So that's kind of the position, and then when I get in, definitely a little bit of a drop in, but the seatbelt now sits securely and easy to fasten, very comfy, pretty natural leg position here. I may put a little extra bolster under here just to fill. I have a little bit of a gap. I don't know if that's normal or not, but for the most part, it seems pretty adequate. And yeah, the car feels really good. I still have some room if I really needed, side to side, but I'm really thin, so hopefully that helps. I'll probably be doing the passenger seat eventually. So if you want OEM seats, let me know. I'll sell them. Otherwise, yeah, pretty sweet. A little more shot of the seat. Looks super sick in the car. Ta-da. A lot of weight savings over the stock. These feel like 45, 50 pounds. This thing's probably 25 pounds with the bracket, base mount and everything. So all in all, stoked with the setup, and we'll see how she feels.